trying out this live, this YouTube live. Trying to get this camera set up. I haven't done YouTube live in forever. Playing around with my phone. Let me see, is it showing? Yeah, it's showing I'm live. Cool. Problem is, how do you see the comments? I'm trying this on my phone. Let's see how it looks. Gotta look on my computer to see if I can see comments. It's not showing anything on the computer. What happens if I turn this sideways? I'm just goofing off with my phone. It doesn't do anything. It shows. I don't have a phone holder. Hello, KM. Hello, JHDZ from Santa Ana, California. Hello, fellow explorers from Tucson. Hey, what's going on, man? Where in Tucson are you, KM? So I'm live streaming on my phone because I don't have a webcam on my monitor because I use a television, and so I can't do this live stream via my monitor. So I'm just goofing off. I got nothing else to do. I'm home alone. Not alone, but my wife is doing a. Oh, there it goes. It shows the comments on my phone. Huh? That's cool. It just popped up now. How do you talk to people on the phone now? Northwest side, about a half hour from Saguaro National Park off I-10. What did I put you like in Miranda or something? I'm doing good, JHDZ. How you doing? See, this is my monitor. I have no webcam here. But I'm just curious if I can. I haven't been able to do live streaming since 2017. YouTube took it away from me. They punished me for a while. You do a lot of hiking in the desert, KM? Look at my rabbit over there. He's over there. Any new car? No, I don't have a new car. Where do you hike at? KM, first of all, how old are you? Male, female? Where do you hike at? I had this made for me from another YouTuber from Australia. His name is Jill Builder. I'm doing good, thanks. Cool. Man, it's a hot one outside, huh? This is just random. I didn't plan this. This is just spur of the moment thing I decided to try here today. Trying to figure out where I'm going to go hiking this weekend. My wife and kids are doing great. Right now, my wife is doing an interview for this huge radio station, Indonesian radio station, about Indonesians in America. So she's been doing that for about 40 minutes now, that interview. So pretty excited about that. I can't set this phone up. It keeps sliding down. My kids are doing good. They're in their rooms. They just got home. I don't have a, my wife has the cell phone stand holder. Let's see, maybe I can put it in this cup right here. People ask me all the time, what kind of camera do you have? So this is one of the cameras I use. My hikes, this, I was going to say Sony, but it's a Panasonic because I used to have Sony. And this has the 90 times zoom. This thing I've had for about 5 years. I've dropped it off of cliffs. Dropped it on the trail in the dirt. This switch here is really stuck sometimes. Hard to open and close. And then I use the action camera. DJI Osmo action camera, which I tried to live stream using this, but I couldn't do it. So those are the cameras I use. Redemption Center Wash Area, Los Morteros, Sweetwater, Mount Lemon, Honeybee Canyon, and many, many, many more. Oh yeah, you sound like me, man. How old are you? Redemption Center, that's where the petroglyphs are at. When you go out hiking, are you going out for any specific reason? Like, are you going out looking for stuff? Are you just out exercising? What are you doing out there? So, like me, I go out looking for stuff like petroglyphs, mortars, crested saguaros, crested barrel cactus, any kind of crested cactus, wildlife, birds like hawks, you know, stuff like that, eagles, like the Mexican caracara eagle, you know, I found out in the desert several years ago, and I go and I check on it every year. Yes, enjoying the petroglyphs, but I don't usually tell people where. I know where all of them are. I know where all the petroglyphs. I know the ones in Kings Canyon. I know Signal Hill, Redemption Center, Honeybee Canyon. You know, in Honeybee Canyon, they got several huge crested saguaros out there. I post pictures on my Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if anybody that's in this live stream right now, do you follow me on Instagram or Facebook? I post all my pictures on Instagram and Facebook of crested saguaros and petroglyphs. As I do with the YouTube, I post videos of the petroglyphs I find. JHDZ, where are you from? Let's see who else in here. Anybody else in here? Say hello, man, if you're listening or watching this live stream. Like I said, this is the first live stream I've done on YouTube since 2017, when YouTube took that ability to live stream away from me because I was talking about Sasquatch, believe it or not. I was going to put this as my profile picture. I don't know if it showed up because, like I said, this is the first one. I'm just learning how to do this on my cell phone because I usually don't do stuff with my cell phone, well, except when I'm live streaming on Instagram. I use my cell phone. Drinking. So that's the cameras I use right there. DJI Osmos action camera, which I've had that about 2.5 years now. Your Sasquatch Canyon is very interesting. Oh, so you've been watching my videos about that, huh? You know, it's funny because I got another YouTuber here in Tucson who I met up with, and he knows about that story also, and he thought it was crazy. So I met up with him and I showed him the canyon, and I showed him the areas and stuff like that. I told him the things that happened to me every time I go in that canyon. But nothing happened to us on that day. So a couple of days later, he went back with his girlfriend and showed his girlfriend. And a lot of the stuff that I told him happens to me happened to him and his girlfriend. You've been watching my channel for 5 years. Awesome sauce, man. That's cool, man. You ever leave comments on YouTube? So not only has he had an experience in that canyon with his girlfriend, he went to another area I told him about, and he makes YouTube videos. He found Sasquatch footprints too. I only found one, but where he went with his girlfriend, he found a ton of footprints walking down the wash. Like they just went on and on and on and on, and then they went up out of the wash into the desert. And just recently, he was up there in Mount Lemon. The guy I'm talking about, his name is Desert Walker. That's his YouTube channel. He went up to Mount Lemon and he found what do you call that? A Sasquatch thing up in Mount Lemon. What do you call it? Where they make like a structure out of sticks and stuff like that. So yeah, it's, you know, nobody's gonna believe me when I tell them that Sasquatch is real, but that's what they told me. It's real. It's an interdimensional being. And I asked them why they told me, and they said, nobody's gonna believe you. And pretty much nobody has believed me until some of the people that I've taken out and showed them this stuff and had their own experiences. So yeah, have I seen one in person? No, but I've smelled them and I've had interactions with something whistling and throwing rocks at me and surrounded me with this terrible smell, and then the smell go away and come back again, and stuff like that. And in different areas of the desert, not just in that one canyon, but the other canyons that I've gone into, I've not talked about them in videos because it's like, I don't need that. Somebody dropped a hammer on me again in a different area where I found more Sasquatch beds and more footprints. And it's funny because I find this stuff near Hohokam petroglyphs or ruins, and it's just strange that, you know, over the years, the research I've done, that these Hohokam Indians had an interaction with these Sasquatch entities, whether you want to believe it or not. It's just, I'm not the only person saying this. There's other videos on YouTube where people have researched and studied this, but recently I'm the only one that's been talking about it recently. So this is pretty cool. I need to get a webcam for my monitor here. So I'm watching it on my monitor here too as I talk to everybody. Anybody else got any questions that I'd like to ask about some of the videos I do on my channel? I got two channels. Did you know, KM, that I have I had a mountain bike channel, but I stopped riding mountain bikes. I got tired of crashing. I got tired of riding out in the desert by myself. I was riding with some other guys, and they just quit riding. They got rid of their bikes. One moved away, and they said it's too hot. It's too hot to be riding in the desert. So they just stopped riding. So it's pretty boring riding without yourself. You done with your interview? Yep. I'm doing a live stream on YouTube. My first live stream in 2017 on my phone.
You're jelly. You gotta be big.
My wife should get a big head. Yeah. Did you have fun with your interview?
Yes. It's like I'm so inspired by your stories.
It was all, my wife did an interview, it was all in Indonesian, right?
Yeah.
How's your Indonesian? Did they understand you?
Yeah, it was good. I wrote it down.
You wrote your freaking conversation down before you spoke?
No, just the outline. If she asked me that, I will answer it this way.
My wife's head is swelling big right now. It's so funny because I wouldn't have guessed that she would do this interview. What was the name of the radio station?
VOA.
What is it?
America.
VOA, Voice of America. Can people go and listen to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's recording. recorded, so
Oh,
you can
it's pre-recorded. They haven't edited yet.
next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday. Oh,
I'll be there next Wednesday.
so she's all excited because she was interviewed by it. It's a pretty big radio station, right?
It's one
It's
of the biggest
They have-
international
World- worldwide.
radio
They
station.
have 45 different languages on this.
45 different languages.
Yeah, in the world. So I'm doing the Indonesian.
You're doing the Indonesian.
So,
You want me to do the Japanese one? I can talk Japanese. Kawasaki. Konnichiwa. Ah. So, man, that was a long interview. It was like 45 minutes.
Yeah, and she was still talking, and then the Zoom just went dead.
It went that way. They didn't try to come back on and talk to you again?
No, it's just 40 minutes. That's it.
Oh. So the Zoom ended, but you guys continue talking? Oh.
If Zoom didn't end, we would have been talking still.
All right. So what did you guys talk about?
Oh, everything.
So it's the radio station. They're interviewing Indonesian people who live in America and have their own businesses, right?
Successful business.
Successful business. That's kind of effed up, man. They don't want to talk to people who have a so-so business. That's racist. So KM, you said you've been watching my channel for 5 years. What's one of the favorite places or one of the favorite videos that you've seen on my channel? And have you visited any of these places that I've uploaded to my channel? These videos. I need to get a new camera actually, because when I zoom with this camera, you can hear it. You can hear it clicking and stuff like that because I've dropped it so many times. That's not perfectly round anymore. That's kind of oblong. These are very, very tough cameras, though. I will say that. Extremely tough. Although I like the Sony Handycam better, but this one has a better zoom, a longer zoom. This has the 90 times zoom. You can see it's dirty. Very, 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 very tough. I would highly recommend to anybody, if you want to do hiking videos with YouTube, to get you one of these so you could zoom in on things. This camera actually saves me a lot of time from having to hike down a mountain, up a mountain, to the top of another mountain to see something, when instead I could just zoom in with this. And it's like, oh, well, it's not what I thought it was, so no need to hike up there and check it out. You know, I'm not getting paid. It's not a paid endorsement from Panasonic or anything like that, but it's a good quality camera. Just same as this. I've had GoPro cameras. And this actually comes with a plastic case, but I bought a metal case for it, and I think got a deal because, man, I have dropped this 100 times, and it's still ticking. Still works. The DJI Osmo action camera. It's not a paid sponsor, just things that I highly recommend to anybody doing YouTube. This is all my bat secrets, codes of the Batmobile and the Bat Cave.
your wife is a celebrity.
She's a celebrity now. My wife's head is swelling. She's famous now. She come out, she says, I'm famous now.
Everybody in Indonesia will be able to hear my mother.
Oh, is that right? All the islands in Indonesia, everybody can hear you, huh?
Oh,
You see, I wish I could remember where, but I had told you about a place that you actually went to and made a video of. Saguaro East is one of my favorite places you go. I very rarely go to Saguaro Park East. Very rarely. I haven't been out there in 2 years. Just because it's so far from my house, and it's pretty much, it's flat. It's nothing challenging over there. Where did you ask me to go? I don't even remember. I don't even remember. I guess many people ask me questions. I don't remember everybody asked me questions. I mostly hike in Saguaro Park West. That's mostly where I'm at. Because it's a huge area. It's not far from where I live. And I can just jump in the car and be anywhere in 5 minutes and just go hiking. I will find out which one of your videos and I will leave you a comment. Okay, sure, no problem, man. Yeah, I reply back to every comment that I get, uh, no matter how long it is. How old are you, KM? Are you male or female, or are you native to Tucson, Arizona, or did you move here from somewhere else? Anybody else got any questions? So I got 7 people watching. Anybody else want to join in the comment section? I have no idea how to invite people to a hangout. Like I said, this is the very first live stream on YouTube in what, 6 years? Right, babe? Been a long time since I've done live stream on YouTube. And I kind of like watch the how-to video. It says you can invite people, but I don't know how to do it on the cell phone. Maybe my son could tell me, but he's in his room. You can see I like Star Wars. There's my Star Wars section. Mandalorian. That's Boba Fett. That's my kids. They always buy me Star Wars stuff or Batman stuff. I never buy any of this stuff. Let's see, 42 female Arizona native and never want to leave. Wow. Why do the Crestedsaguaros have a short life? Wait, don't do it. Study it for me, then tell me.
You can't do it on that.
Oh, can't do it on a cell phone. The reason why Crestedsaguaros have a short life, just like any other swallow, it depends on how much water it gets. I have noticed in the last couple of years we've had a lot of Crestedsaguaros die because we've been getting some crazy windstorms. I mean, crazy windstorms in Tucson. But the Crestedsaguaro is much heavier than the normal swallow because the crest is so heavy, depending on the size of the crest. But I get people all the time ask me what causes it to crest. God, that's the only answer I got. Because nobody knows for sure. You got people that say, "Oh, because they freeze and it causes them to crest." Some people say lightning strikes. I've seen saguaros get struck by lightning, and it just obliterates them. So it's not a lightning strike. It's not a freeze, because if that was true, every saguaro in the desert would be crested. So I have this theory that I talk with this professional photographer on Facebook. He's been taking pictures of the desert for 50 years, and he's a very famous photographer for Arizona highways and any Arizona magazine that you can find with desert pictures. It's probably his pictures, and he's writing a paper, and I've been helping him out. I've been showing him pictures of different crested saguaros. I've been finding dead cresteds and showing him what it looks like inside of a dead crested. You can follow it on Facebook. My Facebook is Marco Lee, and you can see pictures and videos that I post over there. It's free. I'm not over there. I'm not trying to sell anything on Facebook, but I like to send people over there so they can learn more about the deserts. But Scotsman, have you ever been in the desert? Where are you from? Are you from Scotland or Ireland or something like that? I have missed your live streams. Also, shopping trips with the wife and the dog. Tater Chip. Wow, you've been around a while, man. Have you been watching shopping trips with the family? That's a long time, man. That's like 2014, 2015 when I stopped doing those type of videos. The reason why I stopped doing those type of videos is, one, my kids are growing up. Two, my daughter refuses to be on any type of video. She don't want to be on video at all. My wife don't want to be on video. My wife has no interest in YouTube anymore, and we just don't go out anymore like that because, like I said, my kids are growing up. They go out and do their own things. My son is standing here right next to me right now.
Show him the grate.
Show him the grate.
Oh. The grate.
There's my son right there. He's growing up. He just had to get on it. Freaking. That's my son, Xavier. And he's standing here watching me. So, life changes is one of the reasons why I stopped doing those type of videos. I do have people ask me, why don't I do those videos anymore? And when I do something like that, then they don't get any views. So, only the Southern California deserts. I live in Los Angeles. The deserts here are kind of lifeless compared to the ones where you are. You know what? I'm a California native myself. I'm from Venice Beach, California. Born and raised there. Nancy LaRose. He sure has grown up. Yeah, he's 20 years old. My daughter just turned 22 and my son turned 20. Even my dog Jerry Lee, I don't know where he's outside with my wife right now. He doesn't even want to go on hikes anymore. I used to take him on hikes with me. He used to be called Adventure Dog, but he's old now. He just turned 9 years old, and I walk him every day at the dog park. And today we went around halfway around, and he just quit. He just stopped walking. I had to pick him up and carry him. He didn't want to go walk no more. So I mean, we're all getting older. Me myself, I just had a 59-year birthday. So you know, getting old. You know, so things change, life changes. But I like doing that kind of stuff, those videos. But you know, like I said, my family, they don't want to be on YouTube no more. So they grew up with cameras in front of their faces. I used to like watching my wife cook. Yeah, well, she's still cooking. And here's the reason why I stopped making videos of my wife cooking, because she got upset because it wasn't getting the kind of views that she thought she should get. She's like a little diva, you know what I mean? So she's like, I'm not making those cooking videos anymore. You know, one video somebody made a bad comment about her cooking, and she took it to heart. And I told her, look, you can't take these comments seriously. Like, you can't. People don't really know you, so you know you get a lot of trolls sometimes that will say mean stuff. And you just gotta have, you know, like water off a duck's back. You just gotta let it go. You can't take it to heart, because, you know, and because of that, she's like, I'm not doing it no more. So I don't make her do anything. Wow, such a nice looking man. I used to stay up to 3 a.m. watching your live streams with your group of YouTube friends. Are you talking about here on this channel, or are you talking about the one on my other channel when I used to do Moto vlogs? I used to be like forever, like 8-hour live streams on that channel. I watched every one of your cookings and tried a few. Man, I tell you what, I just recently rewatched some of those videos, and it cracks me up because people think that's all made up, that we're not like that, but that's exactly how my wife and I are. I've been watching a long time. Yes, Nancy LaRose, I appreciate it. I recognize your name a lot. Yeah, there's some people that have been around since I have 2 people that have been around since 2009 and still watching my videos and still commenting. Right now I'm drinking a pineapple Bai drink right here. This is the smaller size, and this is the bigger size here. So lately, I don't know, my wife's been buying a smaller size. I still drink Bai. I still deal with diabetes, although I don't have any diabetic issues because my diet and my exercising. Love your banter of love. Well, I'm gonna let my wife know that. She's outside with the dog watering her garden. She has a garden outside, so she's out there coming down from her high of being on that Indonesian radio interview. What happened with that radio interview is I have another YouTube subscriber that follows me that I actually met through YouTube, and she's Indonesian, and her name was Wayan, and this is her YouTube channel right here, and she lives maybe 3 miles from us, and she has a bed and breakfast. Right now she's in Indonesia, but she told my wife that this radio station interviewed her, and they were looking for other Indonesian people that live in America, and they were interested in interviewing my wife. So my wife says, like, okay, I'll try it out. So that's how that came about. Now she's all like walking around all swelled head and everything, saying, oh, I'm a celebrity. It cracks me up. Yeah, my wife and I, we've been together 25 years now. We met in Florida. When I was in the hospital recovering from my surgery, my son brought his iPad so I could watch your streams in 2018. Wow, man, that's a long time. Yeah, I stopped doing, well, maybe 2018, middle of 2018 is when I stopped doing live streams. It's not because I wanted to stop, it's because YouTube made a bunch of changes, and they also took away my ability. I was in YouTube jail for a long time, and I don't know, for some reason, because I've been doing a lot of live streaming on Instagram and Facebook. For some reason, I didn't have nothing else to do today. I was like, let me check out YouTube, see if I can live stream again on YouTube. And I tried to do it on my monitor here, and I realized, oh, I don't have a webcam. And the reason why I didn't have a webcam, because I had no need to do live streams. Babe, come here, I want to tell you something. I want you to read something. Okay, hold on. I'm going to scroll back here, let my wife read this. I want something for you to read. There's a comment here for you. I want you to read. Oh, right here. I used to like watching your wife cook. She's laughing. Right? Instead, they love the banter that I watched every one of your cooking and tried a few. She's like, she or he, I don't know if it's a she or he. But they love their banter of love. And I was telling them, a lot of people thought that was fake and it was all scripted, but it was
it wasn't scripted.
It's all fly by the seat of our pants thing. I watched all your videos and also binged earlier ones. Yeah, I have met other YouTubers over the years since I stopped doing live streaming, and I try to tell them that they should live stream and stuff like that, and they ask me if I ever do it, and I'm like, yeah, I used to do it all the time. I had multiple. At one time, I had 8 YouTube channels, and I had a Moto vlog channel where I was pretty popular in the Moto vlog live streaming, and it got to be so big that I didn't want to get like air quotes famous, so I stopped and I walked away. I want people to watch and listen to my videos and my live streams and whatever I post on Instagram and Facebook, but I have no interest of being famous. I just want people to enjoy what they see and what they hear. But I do like interacting with people who follow me on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. Usually more YouTube, because YouTube, a lot of people don't know this, I've been doing YouTube since I started end of November 2005, because my wife bought me a little digital camera, a little Olympus. You remember that camera, babe?
Yeah.
And I told you I wanted to make videos and put on YouTube. Back then, YouTube, nobody knew what YouTube was. YouTube was brand new. She didn't even know what it was. But I begged her for a camera, and she gave me a camera for anniversary present. It was an Olympus little handheld camera, and it was so funny because it was like, the megapixel was like 5 megapixels. I thought, man, that was so awesome. I got a 5 megapixel camera. You know, I could post all kinds of pictures because, you know, at the time we were living in Florida. And then when we moved to Indonesia, I had made a lot of videos in Indonesia, and I was putting them on YouTube that nobody knew about because this was all new. But when we moved away from Indonesia and came back to the States, I couldn't sign in to my YouTube channel that I made. And I was putting the Indonesian, I don't know what it was, something to do with, I have no idea, something to do, it's Indonesia and I was in America, something like that. So I had to start a whole nother channel. And I just forgot about that channel. And I've been trying, every time I had an idea to make videos, I would start a new channel. Like, I've had so many YouTube channels where I had how to flip cars, buy cars and then flip them. I had a stand-up comedy channel routine where I would do stand-up routines and stuff like that. I had a YouTube channel where it was called Mr. Robbery's Neighborhood, that my daughter asked me if I could make these videos because I dressed up like a burglar and I called myself Mr. Robbery. And it was kind of like a Sesame Street kind of thing, but I was a burglar. I was like a burglar that was terrible at being a burglar. But, you know, I would put like, the word of the day is lawyer, you know, stuff like that. And can you spell lawyer? L-A-W-Y-E-R. And that's how I taught my oldest daughter, who's 38 now, how to read, because she had a hard time reading. And I would draw, this is a cat. Can you say cat? C-A-T. And then I would draw a picture of a cat. And my daughter loved those. She would come home from school and she would pop into VCR because I would record it on this huge VHS recorder, and she would watch these videos. So she remembered that growing up, that she asked me to, Dad, since you do YouTube videos, could you do another Mr. Robbery for my kids? You know, I have my 3 grandkids, and they loved it, man. And I had put it on YouTube to where anybody could watch that stuff, and I was surprised people were watching that stuff because I thought that crap was, it was stupid, but it was funny, you know. And I would start out the my YouTube slogan is "Cash Money, baby," and even my children, when they were young, they said it sounds like you, Dad, but they didn't know it was me because I had a burglar mask on, like covered my whole face. But my son was like, "I think that's you, Dad," because I would do stuff around the house, but I wouldn't show the house. And I never admit to them that it was me. So finally, when they learned that it was me, my son was like, "I knew it was you all the time, Dad." And I would start off my jingle to start off the video, and I would sing a song like, "It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day to be up to no good. Could it be mine? Would it be mine? You don't want me to be your neighbor." Right, babe? That was my opening song. Hello, boys and girls. You know? So that was a channel I did for a long time and got a lot of views, but I never ever answered anybody's comments because I wasn't interested in getting to know anybody. I was just making videos for my grandchildren, and I was cracking up and enjoying it at the same time. And then I had what other kind of videos? I've had so many other type of videos. I've done mountain biking, moto vlogging, but all the channels that I've had over the years, they didn't really take off as much as this channel. This channel, for some reason, when I started this channel, I wanted to talk about UFOs, you know, and paranormal stuff. So that's why it's called I Seek Out the Truth, because all the names that I tried to get for this channel, they were taken. But YouTube kept telling me, how about this name? How about this name? How about this name? And I was like, no, I don't want that name. It sounds ridiculous. But, you know, I would try all these names. Finally, I just gave up and said, okay, boom, I'll take that name. And that name stuck, and this channel just started growing like crazy. That's where the name I Seek Out the Truth comes from, because I originally wanted to talk about UFOs and paranormal stuff in the very beginning, which I did, but you know, it didn't really take off like I thought it would. So, you know, I started another channel where I collect, you know, I got a lot of Batman stuff. I got t-shirts, toys, you know, Hot Wheels and stuff like that. And I would make videos of that stuff. It was called My Bat Collection. And that channel just, I did it for like a year and it just tanked. It didn't get any views or any comments or anything like that. So I got rid of that channel. So over the years I have, you know, tried stuff on a different channel, and then it just wouldn't work, and I just delete them. Now I haven't deleted my motovlog channel. I converted that to a mountain bike channel, and now I got rid of the mountain bike. Now I'm putting shorter videos of whatever I feel like putting up on that channel. So anywhere from 3 to 5 minute videos I put on that channel now, because I got people on this channel tell me, oh, your videos are too long. So stuff that I edit out of my videos that I put on this channel that end up on the editing floor probably end up going on that channel. There's shorter versions that I edit out on videos on this channel. So, you know, with YouTube, you got to constantly evolve. You got to constantly do different things, like, you know, the hiking videos. You know, when I was trying to lose weight back in 2012, I was pretty heavy. I was 287 pounds, and I was determined to lose weight in the beginning of the year, February 2012, that we were going to visit our daughter in Florida in December 2012, that I wanted to lose as much weight as I could before we went to go visit my daughter. So I started exercising like crazy and stuff like that, and I dropped a lot of weight. But when I would go out walking in the desert and stuff like that, and the views that I was getting on this channel from the other stuff, like the shopping videos and the family videos, they started going down, and I wasn't getting that many views. That I wanted to end YouTube. And I would come home from my hikes and my walks, and I would tell my wife, oh, I saw this, and I saw this in the desert, or you should have saw this. this coyote was following me. And at the same time, I was telling her, I think I'm done with YouTube. I'm not getting any views, man. I think I'm just going to stop. And because I can't think of anything else to upload. And all the stories I tell her about the things I see in the desert, she's like, well, why don't you just do them hiking videos then? And that's how the hiking videos. It's not like I started hiking because of YouTube. I was doing hiking and walking in the desert. It's just I just turned them into videos. So that's how the hiking videos started on my YouTube. And then I started finding more and more Crestedsaguaros and more petroglyphs and stuff like that. And I decided that I just want to start teaching people more stuff about the desert, from all over the world. Because YouTube is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It doesn't shut off. And I get more comments and requests from people from the UK and Asia and stuff like that, asking me all kinds of questions. Ore Valley Hohokam Archaeological Village. Yeah, you know what? I was just there. I was just there last weekend. And it's weird because I got a video of me walking on the path, and I caught a spirit following behind me. And I posted that short video on Instagram, and I posted it on Facebook. And then I posted pictures of the pottery I found out there. So yeah, I was just out there last weekend. Last Sunday was, right, babe?
Yeah, on Saturday.
No, last Sunday. Saturday I was with Mitch. Yeah, Mick. I met up with another he's not a YouTuber, but he's a hiker explorer. I ran into him on the trail, actually. It's funny. He actually follows me on Instagram. Yeah, the Ore Valley Hohokam Archaeological Village. It's weird because I hadn't been out there in years, and I was out there last Sunday. And it's completely surrounded by homes now. Before, it had a couple of homes, but they didn't block the view of the mountain. But now you go there, and it's like half of the mountain view is blocked by these homes. Yeah, it's a cool place. It's a loop trail, and everywhere if you go off of the trail, you don't have to go very far, a foot off the trail. You run into all kinds of huge pieces of pottery on the ground. And like I said, if you want to see pictures of this, you go to my Instagram. I Seek Out the Truth Arizona, all one word. Or you can go to my YouTube channel, and there's the links there for my Instagram. There's links there for my Facebook, Marco Lee. That's my Facebook. That's my government name. And you can go see, because I post once a week on this channel, and I post like once a month on my other channel. But you can find stuff every day on Instagram. Like I post pictures and videos all the time on Instagram because it doesn't require any editing. And I post stuff daily on Facebook also. So I post pictures, videos of stuff I'm doing around town. I even post, I do live streams on Instagram, like where I'm going to go hike for that day, So yeah, it's pretty easy to follow me around on the interwebs where I'm going, the things that I've done, and things that I've been. But there's another interesting place to go. KM is the Los Moteros. They got some cool stuff out there also. It's because of me you found this place. Oh, you're the one that told me about that place. That's right. Yeah, I do remember that somebody told me about that place. It's funny because I've driven by that area so many times going to Honeybee Canyon that I never even noticed it. Yeah, I got a lot of people that tell me stuff that I didn't know that was out in the desert, and then I go out and make a video of it. Like I ran into this Mick guy. He's from the UK, and he moved to California. He was living in California, and then he moved to Arizona. Just recently moved to Arizona, and he showed me some petroglyphs in the canyon that I've been 1,000 times, and I never knew this petroglyph was there. There's only one, but I've walked by this rock so many times, and I've never even noticed it there. There's my hat collection. So, I don't know everything about the desert, and I don't know where everything is in the desert, but You know, if somebody tells me of something they've seen or they heard about, I do go check it out because I want to see as much new stuff as I possibly can in the desert. You know, because I used to go for like 5 years straight. I would be out every single day, right, babe? Hiking every day for 5 years, and I used to upload daily on this channel. But then it's like, once you go out as much as I did, you start running out of places to go. So this year, 2023, I've been really, really struggling on places to go, to new places I've never been to, which, you know, I've been doing so far this week. Facebook Mick Whitley, he just commented, have you been to South Mountain in Phoenix? No, I don't. I don't hike in Phoenix. I don't care for Phoenix. I get a lot of people ask me about how come I don't go hike in Phoenix. The furthest I go is Picacho Peak. That's it. I don't have a lot of time to drive to Phoenix because when I go out hiking, I'm out in the desert for hours. I can go from anywhere from 2 to 4 hours out in the desert hiking, exploring. So from here to Phoenix is like, what is it, like an hour and a half, babe?
What?
To drive from here to Phoenix?
Beginning of Phoenix, yeah.
It's like an hour and a half to get to Phoenix and then have to hike. You know, I would never be back in time. I'd have to spend the night in Phoenix, and I don't care for Phoenix. Phoenix is too crowded. It's too much like Los Angeles now. And that's one of the reasons why I moved away from Los Angeles is because, one, the earthquakes, and two, the traffic. I like being in nature. And I like to be able to get in my car in 15, 20 minutes, be anywhere in nature and just go hiking and exploring. And the heat doesn't bother me. I get a lot of people complaining about how hot it is. Everybody find rooms in Sabino Canyon? Nah. Never in Sabino Canyon, but I have in Catalina State Park. Matter of fact, here another thing is, I've been to Sabino Canyon and I haven't probably been there in about 2 years. And one of the reasons why I don't like to go to Sabino Canyon is, one, is just packed with tourists. Two, you'll have to pay to get in. I hate having to pay to hike in the desert for anything. That's one of the reasons why I don't go to the Catalina State Park that much. Probably been 2 years since I've been to Catalina State Park too, because you have to pay to get in, and I hate paying to be in nature when I can go anywhere in Tucson and surrounding areas of Tucson for free, you know. But every once in a while I will pay and get in. That's another reason why I don't like Saguaro Park East, because you got to pay to go into that park also, and it's ridiculous, man. So when I go to the Saguaro Park East, I go on days that the years, like there's a certain day of the year where it's free and they allow everybody to go in for free, and then I'll go. First time I went to Honeybee Canyon, there was absolutely no housing development. Yeah, same with me. I've been going there for forever. But there is a huge Crestedsaguaros in that wash north of the petroglyphs that I've known for 4 years that I have not gone out to see yet. Just because every time I go down that wash, I run into rattlesnakes. And I almost stepped on one last time I was there with my son. It was buried in the sand. That's one of the reasons when I talk in my video, I don't like walking in the washes, because the rattlesnake will bury itself in the sand and just have its head sticking out. And you could easily step on a rattlesnake in a wash, because a lot of the wildlife use the wash like a highway. You know, the mountain lions and bobcats, they like to walk on the edges of the wash. Coyotes, javelinas, they run down the center. Rabbits, squirrels, chipmunks, they run down the center. So the rattlesnake sits there and waiting, because it's a predator, and is waiting for the small rodents and stuff like that to come down the wash, and boom, you know. And every time I've ran into a rattlesnake in the wash, it's buried, because it's trying to protect itself from the sun and protect itself also from the predator birds that are flying around looking for it. So that's another reason why I walk with a walking stick also, because I'm poking it in front of me as I walk. Sometimes you can see that in my video, because I wear this on my chest as a chest mount, and you can see both my hands walking, and you'll see me poking ahead of me, and that stick has saved my life a lot. Nobody ever believes me that snakes hide under the sand. They say, oh, not here in Arizona. Oh, man, it's true, they do. I mean, you can go on YouTube and you can see them. You can find the videos. And a lot of people don't believe that snakes are in trees either. When I tell people be careful when you're hiking down a trail with the tree next to the trail, you know, be careful because they like to curl up and make themselves look like a nest. So when the bird lands in there, boom, they got a bird. You know, believe me, I got so many experiences of snakes in trees. And people think I'm crazy. I'm like, what is the very first snake ever known to man? Was the snake in the Garden of Eden, right? It was in a tree, right? And I was telling a person that follows me, lives in Phoenix, that just because you live in the city don't mean you're safe either. And that person sent me a video that they found on YouTube, somebody's backyard in Phoenix, in the middle of the city. Their overhang, their awning, up in the corner where birds like to make nests and stuff, there was a rattlesnake up there, sitting in their awning in their backyard in the middle of the city. So, you know, you got to be careful everywhere. I've opened up my hood and there's snakes in my motor. You know, snakes, squirrels, prairie dogs. And so when I teach my son to work on his car, you got to be careful. Open your hood, get a broom and shove it around and down in there, make some noise so it would scare anything that's might be in the engine bay area, because you don't want to get bit by anything while working on your car. Yeah, they bury themselves. What they do is they vibrate their bodies and then they sink under the sand and they just keep vibrating and the sand falls in on top of them and their heads stick out. Another place where rattlesnakes love to hide are at the bases of saguaros in the shade area. And I got a video on Instagram like a year ago where I was walking in that Bigfoot Canyon to go show this giant saguaro that has recently fallen over. And I walked right up to it. I was like a half a foot from this rattlesnake, and it did not rattle. It raised up in striking position. That's the only reason I saw it. And I had my walking stick in front of me, and then I stepped back, and it gave me a little tick, like tick, 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 2 or 3 ticks like that. And then I touched it just to make sure it was a snake, because I'm colorblind. I have a hard time seeing these snakes. And it struck at my walking stick, and it hit the walking stick. And I guess it realized it was something too hard for it to bite. So then it went around the back of the saguaro, went into a tree. And then I followed it, and I filmed it, and I put that video on Instagram. So stuff like that happens to me, I put on Instagram because it's easy, it's quick, I don't have to edit it. So like when I'm hiking during the day, I might throw it up there while I'm hiking and people can see what I'm doing that day, where I'm at that day, and things I'm running into that day. I saw a snake climb a brick wall. It was crazy. Yeah, I got snakes climb my brick wall all the time. Matter of fact, I used to sit with my front door open before I got the screen door. I used to leave my front door open. And I was on my computer right here, and my front door is over there. And the cat was hissing. And I'm like, why is this cat hissing? So I walk over there, and I look down, and there was this 8-foot king snake trying to come into my house through the front door. And I got that video on my YouTube channel. Hold on, let me go here and show you where you can find it if you're curious, if you want to see this king snake, because a lot of people don't believe me. They're like, what? You had a king snake in Arizona? Yeah, we got all kinds of snakes. So if you go to my main channel here, main page, and you go to the playlist, click that button, the playlist, and then you scroll down, and I have different videos of different things. Like here's all my cooking videos, my car repair videos, things I did when I lived in Indonesia. I got all my hiking videos, 2019, 2017, 2018, the tiny house project, my most popular videos right here, my cat, my dogs who have passed away. 2 of my dogs have passed away. Let me see, I got bird videos, owl videos, spider videos. Here we go, snake videos. If you click on the snake videos, you can go down to hold on, let me pause this right here. That's the video right there. big black striped snake hanging around my house. They tried to get into my house, and because of my cat, I was able to. I caught this snake actually. Right there, there's the king snake. My dogs were going nuts too. It was 8 foot long. My neighbor came over. I was trying to catch it and said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to catch a snake," and I caught it. And then he held one end, I held the other end, and we measured it. So you go to the playlist and you go to my snake playlist, and you can see all the snakes that I found in my yard. Every coral snake, rattlesnake, king snake, scorpions, stuff like that. On my YouTube channel. I got just about everything on my YouTube channel. Spiders, yeah, I don't like spiders either, but I really don't have any problems with spiders because I spray everything. I spray all around my windows and doors and stuff like that. I get some tarantulas. I don't get too many. I had one black widow over the years. I think I got a video of that on my playlist also, if you want to see what a black widow looks like. Those wolf spiders, those are the ones I don't like. Those things are like the size of my hand, and they live in holes in the ground. And it's funny because I got some security lights out in my front of my property there, and it covers my driveway. And I caught one on my carport, and I smashed it with my flip-flop, and it didn't die all the way, but I picked it up and I took it all the way to the edge of my property, right where the light ends, out into the side yard, and I put the spider there, and I yelled to all the spiders, because if you shine a flashlight on the ground, you can see their eyes glowing. And I told them, "You come into the light." I'm out there yelling in my yard. "You come into the light, this is what's going to happen to you. You stay in the dark, you can stay alive." And I thought I was crazy, but I speak spider. They understood me. And the next morning when I got up, that spider that I smashed was gone. So I don't know if his buddies came and got it or anything like that. Ever seen a sun spider? They look like a scorpion hybrid. A sun spider? You mean like a camel spider? I don't know what a sun spider is. Let me Google it. See if I can see what it is. Sun spider images. I've never heard of a sun spider. Oh, yeah. I've seen maybe 2 of those walking along my carport. Let me click on one here so people can see what we're talking about. They kind of look like a scorpion, yeah. I've only seen 2 of those, but it's been years, probably been 10 years since I've seen them. Yeah, I didn't know. I thought those were called fake scorpions. I didn't know. I get a lot of people tell me things like, "Have you ever hiked in this?" And they'll give me the actual name of the place, and I'll be like, "No, I never heard of that. Where's this at?" And then they tell me where it's at. Like, "Oh yeah, I know it as this. This is what I call it." And I didn't know that was the actual name. So it's like the canyon I call Sasquatch Canyon. For years I never knew the name of that canyon. I just called it Sasquatch Canyon or Hohokam Canyon, one of the two. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't know if you guys like these live streams. I can do them more, maybe once a week, maybe do it on the weekend or something. Talk about my hike while I'm editing my hiking video or something like that. Interact more with people who watch my hiking videos. So you told me you're a female and you're what? I think you said 42. Do you hike by yourself, or do you have kids? You go out with your kids or husband or boyfriend or whatever, significant other, whatever? Yes, please. Yes, please. To what? Tater Chip, what are you saying yes, please to? You like these live streams? Is that what you're saying? Yes, please to? Believe it or not, I used to do live streaming 3 times a week on my Moto blog channel, and like I said, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm not bragging. Don't get me wrong, but I was so popular doing the moto vlogs because I didn't talk about motorcycles. I was just trying to be as entertaining as I possibly could. To this date, to this day, I have people still begging me to come back and live stream on my motovlog channel. But the guy that I used to interact with, I don't know what happened to him. We don't communicate anymore. Yeah, my dad always called Honeybee Canyon Bumblebee Wash, right? Yeah, if you go south from the parking lot in that canyon, that's where you run into the bees. I've never seen any bees if you go north, like towards the petroglyphs. Never run into any bees. And people ask me all the time, because I'll walk right up to the beehive and I'll film them. And people ask me all the time, aren't you scared about the bees? Aren't you scared of getting stung? No. And here's why. Everything in the desert can sense your fear. And if you show fear, they can sense it and they will react to it. Just like a dog can sense a person, if a person's a good person or a bad person, they'll growl at some people and they'll wag their tail at other people. You put off an energy and the nature can pick up on that. So I have no intentions on hurting bees. I love bees. I love to get as close as I can to bees and film them and take pictures of them. And my intentions are nothing but pure, kind intentions. So I've never been stung by anything, even like a tarantula wasp, which is one of the most aggressive wasps out there. People get stung all the time. I've gotten inches to a tarantula wasp, and never once has one ever come at me aggressive, ever. Even though they're known to be very aggressive wasps. It's your intentions of what you want to do. Like people like, aren't you scared of javelinas? Because I've come within a foot of a javelina. It's like, no. And my son's been with me, and it's like, no, I'm not there to hurt the javelinas. And as long as you don't corner them and make them feel trapped, that's with any wildlife, they'll leave you alone. I was having this conversation with my wife last night, but we were talking about bears. One of the reasons why I don't go up to Mount Lemmon is because now bears are a completely different thing. Completely different. I've had one experience with a bear, and I don't want to have another experience. Now, a lot of people like just stand still, look down, don't look at the bear, don't move, don't jump, and the bear will leave you alone. Bull crap. My wife was telling me, how many people got attacked by bears in Arizona last night, babe?
There was one guy.
One person died, got attacked by a bear because he stood still. Now, I can't outrun a bear.
Coffee.
He was drinking coffee, and the bear attacked him and killed him. I can't outrun a bear. Now, I understand bobcats and mountain lions and stuff like that. I've had 3 interactions with mountain lions. They're just as scared of you as you're them. But if your intentions are not to harm them, they're curious, they'll look at you, and then they'll go their own way. Because I'm not on the food menu. But a bears just do whatever they want. They don't care. A bear it sees itself in the mirror, will freak out and beat up the mirror because it thinks it's another bear. So that's one of the reasons why I don't go up to Mount Lemmon and hike up there, just because I can't outrun a bear, man. And I am not standing still if I come in contact with a bear. Last time you went there was running water. I feel the same. I have no fear. Just be smart and show respect. Yeah, so if you do encounter a mountain lion or a bobcat or a coyote, the one thing you don't want to do is take off running. Because what you're going to do is you're going to trigger them. Oh, that's prey. And then they're going to come after you because you're running away. And that's what all the foods that they hunt do. When the rabbit sees the coyote or the bobcat or the mountain lion, or they run away from the predator because they don't want to get eaten. And it stimulates that wild animal to come after you. Now, I'm not saying go up and challenge these animals or this wildlife. I'm just saying don't run and don't get scared, you know. I was over here taking my dog Jerry Lee to the dog park, and there's a mountain lion right over there, just walking down the road. I pulled right up next to it in the freaking the car. I mean, right next to it. I was 6-7 inches from it, and Jerry was hanging out the window, and Jerry saw it. Jerry got down to the floor of the car and just started shaking. He was so scared. He was just shaking, man, because he smelt that mountain lion and saw it, and it scared the crap out of him. To this day, that was a couple years ago. To this day, if I do like a bobcat, like wow, it freaks him out, man. Isn't that right, babe? He just cowers down and starts shaking. It scares the crap out of him. I don't carry any bear mace with me because I've never encountered any bears in the desert. It's just up in the mountains, you know. Is where they are here in Arizona. Now in Florida, I encountered one on the golf course. I was driving a golf cart and ran face to face into a freaking bear. He was a foot away from me. I scared him, he scared me. But I was in a golf cart. I backed it up and took off. Now, I knew I could outrun him in a golf cart. Now, alligators, I had no problem. I run alligators all the time when I built golf courses in Florida. I used to have to go every morning and get the alligator off of the putting greens. That was my job, to go up there, you know, get the golf club and tap it on the tail and get it to get off the green and get back into the lake. So I'm not scared of wildlife because I have no intentions on hurting anything. Now, if I catch a snake in my yard, as long as it's not a rattlesnake, I won't do anything to it. If I catch a rattlesnake in my yard, it's dead. I'm killing it instantly. My dog Josie got bit by a rattlesnake. They got into the backyard and my dogs were going nuts, and I went out there and the snake had already bit her on the neck. She didn't die from it, fortunately, because we filled her full of a bunch of Benadryl. But her whole face swelled up for like a month. But she didn't die from it. But that snake was killed immediately, chopped its head off. I buried the head in the ground about a foot deep. And then, the neighbors killed it from because I was holding my dog Josie back because she still wanted to bite it and shake it and stuff like that. So, but I cut the head off and the neighbor kept the body. The neighbor said they wanted to eat it, so they took the snake. So, that's my experience with the rattlesnakes. But I've only had one rattlesnake in the yard, and that's the one that bit Josie. But just recently, I had a big old king snake. I went out my front door to go throw the trash out, and he was going up my wash from my carport. He started going up the driveway, and went across my yard, and I ran up to it and grabbed my phone and started filming it, and I put that video on Instagram. So then I sent it to my wife, the picture of it. She's like freaks out because she doesn't like snakes. She's like, oh great, freaking another snake in the yard. But king snakes, I've had about 6 or 7 king snakes in my yard. I've never ever had one ever coil up and strike at me, ever. So, you know, I won't do anything with a king snake. I'll leave it in the yard. I got a couple people on Facebook commenting on pictures I posted there. It's funny because I've had a lot of people that follow me on YouTube that live out of the country. They've moved to Arizona because of my videos. That's what this guy I met the other day, he's from England. He moved here because the video, not my channel, but other YouTube videos of Arizona. That's what made him want to move to Arizona. So it's pretty cool. I mean, come from England he went to California first, then he came to Arizona. He doesn't make YouTube videos, but he's a hiker, explorer. I think he's more into petroglyphs. He likes Crestedsaguaros, but I think he's more into petroglyphs. Red, yellow, black, watch out, Jack. Yeah, that doesn't do me any good. I'm colorblind. So what I do is I take a picture of whatever I see or find, and I'll send it to my wife, and then I'll ask her, hey, what color is this? Because I get a lot of people, because when I'm filming a video, I'll say a color or something in the video, and people are like, oh, I thought you're colorblind. How do you know what color it is? Well, because I've already asked. You know, I'll either, if I can't get a hold of my wife, I'll send a picture to my son or my sister, and then they'll send it back, tell me what it is, what kind of plant it is. You know, like that rattlesnake that almost bit me last year. I took a picture of it. I sent it to my sister in White Mountains because she knows a lot about snakes. And I said, look, check out this snake. I've never seen this snake before. It kind of looks weird. It's got stripes on it, but it's a rattle. She said, oh yeah, it's a tiger stripe rattlesnake. It's very, very aggressive. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? This thing is not aggressive at all. It's not rattling at all. If anything, it's trying to get away from it. She goes, oh, be careful. No, they're very, very aggressive. And I was like, I don't know, man. I have to argue with that one because this one was not trying to show any kind of aggressive at all. And it was the middle of summertime too. It was like in May, not summer, but like late spring. So, yeah, I have no, like, I have a video, which I thought was a coral snake, and I said it in the video, and man, I must have got about 15 people tell me it's not a coral snake, and I got 15 different answers of what kind of snake it is. So to this day, I really don't even know what kind of snake it is, but it's in the video on my playlist, on my snakeless playlist over there on my YouTube channel. If anybody wants to go and look at that, because I would have bet money that it was the. Yeah, I see that you left a comment. Hey, it's this place, Hokum Village. Yeah, that place though. When I was there last Sunday, I was kind of bummed out because there's so many houses around it that I was going to make a YouTube video, and I tried to make a video, and my batteries on my freaking camera just, I had a full charge, just went dead, just died. I carried the two cameras with me. I carried this camera with me, and I carried this camera, and this camera battery died. This one shut down because it said it was overheating, and I couldn't get this one to turn back on. So the video that I made where I caught that spirit following behind, my wife said I actually walked through it. I had to use my phone, and even then my phone kept sending me warnings that it's overheating, and I wasn't even using the phone. But yeah, I was kind of bummed out with that area because now it's completely surrounded with housing development, and it's just great. My wife's actually cooking right now. Let me go. I can smell it. Let me go over here and see what she's cooking. What are you cooking, babe?
Yeah. Chicken curry.
Yeah, I can live stream. I can walk around. Chicken curry.
Chicken curry. Indonesian chicken curry.
Indonesian chicken curry. She's always cooking. You see this? I cleaned all this morning really, really well.
You do?
Yeah. I forgot. Here I'm sitting in my computer and I forgot. I'm live streaming. I can walk around. Man, this smells so good. Let me show you the rabbit. I got this rabbit, my daughter's rabbit. His name is Pumpkin. I take him outside twice a day. Come here, Pumpkin. Watching a live stream on YouTube. Come here, Pumpkin. He doesn't know. He's not sociable today. Oh, they got your food wrong. That's the cage he stays in at night. There's Jerry Lee. Let me turn your thing here. Oh, he wants a snack. This Jerry Lee, say hi. Jerry Lee. No wonder it's so hot in here, babe. You got the AC off. Let me get my rabbit some snacks here. I'm getting her some carrots. You're hungry now? He wants some carrots. Gotta chew them up little pieces. There he is. There you go, buddy. Now let's go outside. I gotta go check on this wildcat that I've been feeding. It's the tiny house I built, the gazebo I built for my wife. Whew, man, it says it's like 99 degrees out. Show you guys my wife's garden. She got some strawberries. My sister made me that. My wife's little garden here. These are all some kind of chili pepper. I think one's ghost pepper. And this one is like green pepper or something like that. Lemongrass. That plant right there actually got me in a lot of trouble. They tried to say I was trying to stake out the places. It was a nursery, and I made a video of all the beautiful flowers and plants I had at this nursery, and they called the FBI on me. Said I was staking out the place when I already stopped before I even went in and started filming, I asked the manager, which is the owner, if it's all right if I go around and make videos and take pictures of the plants and stuff. They told me no problem. Okay, I already got the okay, and but the people that worked there didn't know that, and they called the FBI on me. And the FBI, like after I left the place, when I bought that, they wouldn't give me a receipt, and I demanded to have a receipt, and they wouldn't give me one. I paid cash. I took the video out and made a video of me paying for it, and they didn't know I was making a video of me paying for it. And that's the only thing that actually saved me, that. And the FBI talked to the owner, and the owner said, oh, no, I gave him permission. So they tracked me down by my phone, too. This is my garden right here. This is, I planted this. This is cantaloupe. And then I have red bell pepper here, growing here, that I planted. I've never planted anything before. And my wife's got some kind of fruit tree there, and I planted some pear seeds here. This is where I sit, where I let pumpkin run around. Well, I can't see. I had a feral cat friend in my backyard for the last year, and she recently disappeared. That is, I think that's a mango tree, and that's a lime tree. That's where pumpkin hides. Now, if I do have snakes, they're always over here. Now, what I did to keep snakes from coming in the yard, even though they can climb a wall, I put this mesh right here in between these blocks, because I did this for my dogs, and they like to stick their heads out there, see if anybody's coming around. Over this wall here, nope, usually if I do see one, they're usually stretched out right there, because this tree is usually filled with quail. I don't know what kind of tree this is, but it has these little black berries that the birds love to eat before they fall off the tree. You grow hot peppers, they do the best in this desert. My wife has every kind of chili pepper, ghost pepper, habanero pepper that she's growing over there, serrano pepper. This is the cage that I leave Pumpkin the rabbit in during the day, but now that it's getting hot out, he just stays in all day. I'll bring him out in the morning, and in the evening when the sun's about ready to set, that's usually where I keep him. I got a video on Instagram where I filmed this cat because I really couldn't see what he was like. This water is actually still cool. He lives in there. This is the old doghouse that I made, a doghouse, huge doghouse inside of the shed, and on this side is this huge king-size mattress on that side where I throw my tools. I love spicy food. So anyways, I set up the camera right here. I put my action camera right here. I had it on my walking stick, and I set it right here. I filmed him, and I got good video footage of him coming out of there, coming up here. It took like 35 minutes, and I edited down to, like, I don't know, 3-minute video. Now I know exactly what he looks like, and he's looking pretty healthy. This is the river behind my house that you can go on my YouTube channel under monsoons videos, and you can see where the water has come all the way up to the edge of here almost every monsoon season. Yeah, the hotter the chili, the better for me. I love spicy food. That's the weather today here. It's 99 degrees, and it's kind of cloudy. Freaking feels muggy as heck out here, though. This is my side yard. I live on 1 acre of property in Arizona. I have a whole nother piece of property in the back there, and I built this specifically for my wife, the gazebo in this tiny house. I got videos on my channel of my tiny house if people want to know what it takes to make a tiny house. I forget the size of it. It's like 20 by 15, something like that. And it costs $12,700. Yeah. Let me show you guys the inside of the tiny house, which is more likely used as a storage place now. Because my daughter used to like to do yard sale. So I got all this stuff here for her yard sales. It's a loft. I have a TV that never used. I haven't used this in like 3 years. Here's the stairs. This is where my wife and I hang out. Got the pocket door, which, you know, got the idea off of Star Trek. This door that comes out of the wall. Full-size bathroom. And it took me like 4 months to make this with my stepfather. And this is the upstairs loft. I have the ceiling fan and the AC over there. I put it at the top because in Arizona the heat rises. And that's where we sleep right there. That's the inside of a tiny house. My wife really wanted a tiny house, so I built it for her. And like I said, there's videos on my YouTube. I have the playlist where you can watch the beginning to the end. And my daughter gave me this for my birthday. I love stormtroopers. Got a massage chair my wife had to have. She used it twice and never used it. And it's been about 6 years sitting, never been used. There's the view outside to the gazebo. It's actually, I don't have the AC on here, and it's actually nice in here. One of the best things I ever did was buy the best insulation that you could use in Arizona. She had to have that swing thing too. Now that tarp right there is a thing of organ pipe cactuses, and it actually tore, so I folded it in half because I was going to throw it away. My wife loves it so much, and we can't find another one like it, so that's why I folded it in half, because the wind here just is torn it up. But it keeps the sun off the back of her neck, because that's west. That way it's actually, that way is west. And I get people all the time, where do you live? Here, I'll show you guys my yard. That's my car, my wife's car. This is where I saw that king snake. It was coming from underneath my car here, and it went across here, went over there, and then it went up in the tree up there. That's where my dogs are buried over there, Josie and Brownie. There's the tiny house. This is a ironwood tree right here. I tried to film it, but it went up the tree on the other side. It went up and it went around, and I don't know where it went after that. It just disappeared. Yeah, I'm ready for monsoons. Now in this tree, there's an owl that likes to sit in this tree. And I got video of him. He sits up on this branch right here. And he lives in that palm tree over there at my neighbor's house. I have no idea where that king snake went, because I ran around to that side. I went in between there. It was gone. Look at this knuckle in this ironwood tree. They're so weird, these trees, but when you cut them and open and they make sculptures and stuff out of this wood, it's the most beautiful sculptures ever. I lost Brownie 2 years ago, and then almost a year exactly to the date we lost Josie. They're both old, 13 years old, and I buried them over there. Brownie's is the first one on this side, Josie's on that side, and just recently, that's like June 9th or something like that, it's when Josie passed away. This is, I don't know, my wife planted something here and it's dead now. Doesn't look like anything. Now I got stuff all over my socks. I don't know what she had planted here. But do you have Jerry Lee? Yeah, we still have Jerry Lee. Jerry Lee's just turned 9. Here's a thing, the piece that fell off of my ironwood tree, and to me it looks like a face. See that? Mouth, the nose, like a pig face. I kept this because, I don't know, maybe I might run into somebody that does carvings and they want some ironwood or something like that. This thing is really, really heavy. Kind of scary looking. There's my son's car. I just fixed my son's car. Let me show you. When people ask me all the time, can you get a piece of a Crestedsaguaro, graft it, and then grow a Crestedsaguaro? And it makes me laugh when people ask me stuff like that, because they don't understand how slow saguaros grow. Now, I have to be careful to make sure there's snakes here. I'm walking in flip-flops. Now, when we bought this property 14 years ago, this saguaro was only this tall. This first notch there, it didn't have this arm. It had this arm, but it didn't have this arm. Well, no, take that back. It had this arm, it didn't have this arm. But this arm was this size on that side. And this is a segmented saguaro. And you see now it's probably 3.5 feet tall. I water this all the time. Segmented saguaro. Now, you can see in 14 years it's grown from here. Actually, this arm has grown a lot. It's grown from here to this tall in 14 years, and I water it all the time. Now, depending on the amount of water that the saguaro gets, depends how fast it grows. So, you have saguaros in the desert that hardly get any water, and they don't grow. So, it's impossible to grasp something up of a saguaro and expect it to grow within your lifetime. Do you still cut down the tree limbs with your skill saw? Of course I do. I don't have a... Why would I buy a chainsaw when the skill saw works perfectly? I just cut this tree just recently. You see this big tree here that makes me have bad sinus problems all the time? It had this stump right here, these two stumps. About 6 months ago, I cut that with a skill saw because it was getting so big it was going to land on my house. So I cut it down. And this is where I feed my wild rabbits. I got about 15 wild rabbits that sit out here at night. And I throw all kinds of fruit over here. And I just filled up that water. And when I dumped that yesterday, it had 2 dead baby birds in it. So I just changed that yesterday. And I got all these cactuses here in my side yard. Yeah, that's, skill saw. It's for cutting wood, right? And where does wood come from? People thought I'm nuts and stupid because I use a skill saw. It's for cutting wood, and the tree branches wood. This is a mesquite tree, and the rabbits love these beans right here. And you can actually get this and grind it up to a flour. You can buy this flour off of eBay. It's called mesquite flour, and they make it from this beans. And you can eat that beans just like it is right there. And it's got like a sweet taste to it. It's very good for your blood pressure and your blood sugar. I like to throw it on the ground there for the rabbits because they can't reach it. Now the prairie dogs will climb up the tree and they'll come down the branches and they'll eat it from the branches. That's what it's funny because you'll see a prairie dog up here and he'll run down this branch here all the way to the ground. That's why I don't cut these branches over here on this side. It's for the prairie dogs to come up on. And the freaking lizards. The lizards in this yard are freaking huge. They're so big, sometimes I think it's a snake going across the ground. There's a huge one that lives in this freaking plant right here. You see how tall my gobby plants are? Look at that. People think I'm crazy. If you don't believe me, I got a video on my channel where I'm using a skill saw to trim my trees. Actually, the one that fell down over there. People tell me, why don't you get rid of that tree? No, I get all kinds of wildlife. I got a roadrunner sitting up on there last night. I get the owl, vultures. They all use it. The doves, the quails, the hawks like to use the very tallest part right there. When that tree got knocked over from a storm, I had to trim all those branches off with the skill saw. And that's when my neighbor, Mrs. Kravitz, passed away. I heard somebody yelling. And if you've been following my channel for a while, you know about Mrs. Kravitz. And I stopped cutting the tree, and I'm like, what is somebody screaming for help? And then she ended up passing away a couple days later. Tastes like bananas to me. I don't know. I don't eat bananas. I couldn't tell you what it tastes like. It don't taste like bananas to me. It just got a sweet taste to it. Yeah, I pick all these off just for the rabbits. So I've been taking care of rabbits for the longest time. I didn't know that much about rabbits until we get this pet rabbit, and I realized just how smart these rabbits really, really are. Now, here's a story about things you got to be careful in the desert. I was trimming this tree one time, right up here, these branches, and I got thirsty. I went in the house and went in the bathroom to wash my hands, and when I looked in the mirror on my right shoulder, there was a scorpion about this big just sitting on my shoulder that, you know, it must have fell off the tree branch when I was cutting the tree branches. But I had taken some of this cactus here and I transplanted it over here, and these things have sprouted into other cactuses that I didn't plant. Now the big ones are the ones I planted. Right here. I planted that one, and that one, and they sprouted up all these other little ones right here. Don't know why. I don't know how that happens. I rarely water these. Man, it's clear sky over there, but to the south is just cloudy like crazy, man. I can't see anything. So this is it's not my whole property. I got a whole other piece of my property at the very, very front. But just basically the side and backyard. Man, it is hot out here. Device overheating. I gotta get inside. It's hot. Let me get some AC on. That's how hot it is outside. The electronics immediately start getting hot. So if the live stream ends unexpectedly, it's because it got hot and it just shut off. But let me sit here in front of the AC. See if it cools down. That's a new AC. I just installed that last year. I had the window ACs once because it's cheaper. They want $5,000 to install a central home area AC.